7.5% interest rate is where we're at for this month. Hey, welcome back to Living in Minnesota. My name is Joe Carmack, and the bearer of bad news this month, which is April 2024. You can see we're up so much. I guess I'm supposed to say, well, it's not as bad as we were in October, November, when we were almost 8%, but honestly, there's no sugarcoating it. Pretty much all bad news with interest rates, which is where I will start you for it today. So with interest rates, we're currently at 7.5, they were up 8% last year, but we're up dramatically. Now, if you've been following me, I do these monthly market updates every single month, and we've been cheering on. We're like, yeah, the worst is behind us, and we should be going downhill from here. And in theory, that is still what we should be seeing, but the reality is the exact opposite. So normally presidential election year, we'd expect that number to go down. You can see on the left side there, that's the one-year trend. We were going down. It was great, and then the last couple of weeks have just spiked up. So that's the bad news. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more good news as we go through your market update. Why don't we start you off with that month supply of inventory. Now, month supply of inventory, the lower we are on here, the more seller favorite it is, the more competitive it is. The higher we are, the better we go. Now, unfortunately, the bad news isn't going to stop yet. If you are tracking me on this graph, you know that we typically bottom out. Those valleys are going to be the winter months, and then we start seeing those numbers start to come up. So February and March, that number should be going up. And we stayed flat. At first, you might not think that looks too crazy. However, I actually went back all of the last 19 years, which is as far back as my system will let me go. And we've never once had a month that either went down or stayed flat ever from February to March in the Twin Cities. So that's extremely unusual. To be completely honest, I haven't decided what exactly that would mean for us, just because we've never seen that. If this was our February number right here, we would expect this number to start going up. And since we're seeing the market kind of trend, it should be doing something like that over the next year, right? So the fact that we stayed flat from February to March was very surprising. In any case, looking at the rolling 12-month average, the last one was your month-to-month change. This is the 12-month average. It actually stayed exactly what we've been expecting. So you can see for the last several months, we've been going up 0.1% or 0.1 month supply, every 2 months. And so we did follow exactly that trend. We came up another 0.1 in March. If we zoom out for you, you can also see we're still very much on trend to where we were. This was the big last boom and bust. This was COVID. Everything dropped from there, and we've been trending back very nicely. I did not like to see interest rates spiking up, and I don't like to see that our month supply of inventory was kind of wonky for March. However, the overall, macro lens trend is still going in the right direction. There's no crashes. There's no dramatic changes. And as you can see, again, the lower we are on this graph, this is still month supply. The lower we are, the more seller favored it is. And so we like to see that we're trending back being towards a more balanced market. Most would say 4 to 6 months is a balanced market. And I don't know if we're going back to 6 anytime soon, but I'd love to get us closer to that 4. That's, of course, affecting our days on market. We always peak for January and February, and so that's where you're going to see right around here. These are the January, February numbers. So last month, I told you, don't be surprised when that number goes down. We did see it go down. And I will say, I was a little bit surprised how much it went down. We went from 38 days on market to 24 in March. So while the market does normally speed up, that was actually a surprising amount. Now, what's really strange to me with this month's market update is we have not seen interest rates come down. And of course, these numbers are only reporting through March. So these aren't going to be showing the big increase we saw in interest rates, which happened in mid-April when I'm recording this now. But even with that still, we have not seen interest rates come down, and we're seeing the market kind of heating up and being a little more competitive. So that's pretty surprising. Seeing 24 days on market is a little bit less than I probably would have guessed. But overall, not a huge surprise, and it's going in the right direction. Our whole monthly market day is going to be kind of weird juxtaposition, so just don't kill the messenger this month. On our median days, we expected this number to go up. And last month I said it's kind of weird that we went down last month, and we should probably be going up. This is the rolling 12-month average is what you're looking at, and that one stayed flat. So fortunately, I guess we didn't get more competitive for this month. However, we still also stayed low, and I'm kind of disappointed with that. I would really like to see this number keep trending up a little bit more. The market is still very much favored towards sellers, and things are still moving very quickly. However, it would be nice for buyers' sake if we didn't see this number at the very least going down. We stayed flat at 18, so I'll take that, but I wouldn't mind it going up a little bit. Now, 3 important things we got to look at for listings, and then we'll get to prices and what's affecting all of that in a second. Three things you got to see for listings. First of all, we'll start with the slightly more encouraging, and then we'll go towards discouraging numbers. But here's the last 5 years. This is the rolling average for the number of new listings. You can see we did go up again from February to March this year, so we like that number. We're still really low, but fortunately we are trending in the right direction. It was significantly less, you can see, as we had kind of done this number, and then we sort of tapered off from what you would have thought we would have seen. I do definitely just want that number to keep going up. The number of homes for sale also slightly encouraging. Now, the previous slide was the number of new listings getting put on the market. Then a bunch of them, of course, will sell. So in any given period, how many are still left available for sale? They're closely related, but we do like to see this number going up as well. We saw only a slight bump. I believe it was about 50 homes or so that we increased from February to March. But frankly, at this point, we'll take whatever we can get. The thing that is a little bit discouraging is the number of closed sales being so far down. We're hoping that this number would start trending back up towards a normal realm. And frankly, we're just not seeing that. So we do like that more listings are getting put on, but I think those rates are definitely holding some buyers off the playing field. They're priced out of the market. And so even though the number of new listings going on is up, closed sales, that's of course a lead and lag measure. So hopefully closed sales will follow. But so far, we're not seeing that number. So how's all that affecting our sale prices? Let's start you with the bouncy ball. This is the month-to-month number. You can see we went up about $7,000 from February to March this year. That's pretty normal. That's about exactly what I would have expected. We always see those numbers, the lowest sale price numbers during the winter months, and then the highest during the hotter spring and summer months, of course. So that isn't anything that was a big surprise. Looking at the rolling average, we actually didn't see anything, and that actually was a little bit surprising to me. This would go back to interest rates, which is ad nauseum what we're talking about, but because rates didn't come down, I think that's probably primarily what we're looking at for why sale prices didn't go up. And honestly, if you're a seller, you're not really affected by this too much, but if you're a buyer, you're really thankful that despite rates not going up, prices also didn't go up last month. So there you go. Unfortunately, not a lot of good news, a lot of good and bad and mixed messages from the market. But if you have any questions on what's going on around the Twin Cities, my name is Joe Carmack, and I'd love to help. You can find all my contact information in the description down below, and I'll see you next month.